It's your boy G.
I'm Aries, y'all.
And we back with another video. Today, we got a good movie review for y'all. We just watched Godzilla vs. Kong last night. We got the good, the bad, and the ugly about Godzilla vs. Kong.
Y'all wanna know what we think? Of course you do. That's why you're here.
Hey, so let's jump right into this review. So some of the cast in this Godzilla movie, Millie Bobby Brown.
Love Millie.
We love Millie. So much so that we were going to name our daughter 11. Brave was going to be 11. Based off of Stranger Things. So Millie Bobby Brown.
Alexander Skarsgård from Big Little Lies. That's where I know and love him from.
Tarzan is where I know him from. He was ripped up in Tarzan swinging from them trees.
Brian Tyree Henry. Hilarious.
Yeah, he did good in the movie.
He was the comic relief of the film.
I feel like he was kind of like Anthony Anderson in the first Transformers. That's what his character reminded me of. Rebecca Hall, we all know her from The Town. She was awesome in The Town as Ben Affleck's love interest.
And the adorable Kaylee Hottle. I loved her. She was my favorite in the film.
Mine too. This is her first film.
First film, her breakout role. She did amazing.
So y'all, let's jump right into the good. Spoiler alert, okay? If you have not watched this film, I suggest you go and watch it because I'm dropping all the spoilers.
Oh, you gonna spoil it?
Spoiler alert. The good was Kong and Godzilla teaming up. It's like a super wrecking crew. They had to team up and beat up the robotic Godzilla. They slayed them because they're like two titans, and like, who can beat two titans?
Right, two titans are definitely better than one.
Exactly.
The good for me, once again, Kaylee Hottle, her character's relationship, Gia with Kong, I feel like that was the best part of the movie for me. Like, if you want to see developed relationships and developed storylines, dynamic characters, this might not be the movie for you. The only developed relationship for me in this movie was Gia and Kong. And it was so cute. Like, they spoke to each other. They understood one another. They had a bond. He looked out for her. She looked out for him. Other than that, it's just two big-ass creatures destroying stuff.
I, too, could appreciate the relationship that was cultivated between Kong and Gia, because normally we're used to seeing Kong save the pretty white woman. In the Kong Skull Island movie, he was saving Brie Larson. In the old movie with Jack Black, King Kong, Kong was in love with Naomi Watts. Like, we always see him saving some dainty white woman, you know? So it was good to see his relationship with an Asian Pacific character by the name of Gia, Kaylee Hottle.
Yeah, she's the last survivor of the Iwi people from Skull Island. She's the only survivor, so he's hella protective over her. And it was just a cute dynamic. That was the part that I really enjoyed from the movie.
Definitely. So that's all the good. If you know of some more good from this movie, let us know.
Because that's all we got.
You know what? One more good thing.
Brian Tyree Henry. He was hilarious. I mean, he
Yeah.
gave us the comic relief. His character didn't really bring much other than comic relief for me, though.
Yeah, I mean, but he was one of the bright spots of the movie. I wish they would have developed him a little bit more and allowed him to do more substantial things in the movie. You know, I don't think he did anything of significance other than be funny. So let's jump into the bad. There were a few bad things about this movie because it was just like so extra and over the top. But I think one of the worst bads, if that makes sense.
The baddest of the bad.
The baddest of the bad, the worst, was the robotic Godzilla. I hated it. I feel like man is always trying to create something intended for good, but ends up wreaking more havoc than the good that it was intended for.
Don't y'all watch these movies? Don't y'all know how this always turns out? When man tries to do things that are not intended for man, when man tries to play God and create things that were made by God and nature, what always happens? When y'all gonna learn y'all lesson?
Mass destruction. So that was bad because ultimately what they were trying to do was defeat Godzilla with a robotic Godzilla, and the robotic Godzilla ended up being like, he was evil and he didn't let them control him for good. Kind of like, you know what, you remember on Spider-Man with Dr. Octopus had the arms and the chip that was keeping him good blew up and he became bad. That's what always happens, just like you just said. That was the bad.
And see, the fact that you gathered that much from the film, that's why they created him, I don't remember that. I feel like there was too many like storylines that weren't fully developed, and I couldn't really follow. It was too much for me to follow.
Yeah, I agree.
Like they had the team over here with Kong, trying to get Kong to Hollow Earth. Then they had Millie Bobby Brown's character and Brian Tyree Henry trying to... I don't even know what they were trying to do. I don't even understand what was going... Like, their purpose, they had none.
And then it was the dad of the girl and the other dude who was, like, controlling the robotic Godzilla. So it was just, like, 3 storylines going on all at one time. And, like, the only one that stood out was Alexander Skarsgård, Rebecca Hall, and Kaylee Hotto.
Trying to get Kong to Hollow Earth. I don't remember why. Why was he going to Hollow Earth?
They were trying to harness some energy to input into the robotic Godzilla to beat Godzilla. But when they got to Hollow Earth, y'all, there were too many creatures down there. Like some of them looked like turkeys, like Thanksgiving turkeys spliced with bats. It was just like too fantastical to me.
But that should be expected from this type of film.
Yeah.
It's not really my type of movie.
Mine either.
It's not something that I would typically watch.
What were you thinking while you were watching it?
This was me watching this film.
There were, I mean, like we said, there were a few bad things, you know, that they could have done better in this film. Yeah. So on to the ugly. The ugliest thing about this film was the destruction. Destruction is expected.
That's to be expected.
It's to be expected. I mean, it's 2 titans, Kong and Godzilla. They're like fighting in the middle of Hong Kong. So buildings are going to be falling. People are going to be screaming, running, all of that. That's expected. But like, have you ever watched like a DC movie and it's just like the destruction is times 10,000?
It's excessive.
It's just ridiculous. Like Marvel knows how to do destruction. DC doesn't. This movie was like a bad DC movie with the destruction. And then when 2 big huge things are fighting, like in Transformers, it's like you can't really see what's going on because it's just like 2 huge things on camera and they're just like swinging and fighting, and I just was like, man, it was just too much.
It was overwhelming.
It was overwhelming.
Overwhelming destruction. But like I said, this is why this is not my type of film. Car chases and excessive destruction, I can't focus. You're gonna lose me every time. But that's just me.
The ugliest thing about the film was Millie Bobby Brown, Julian Dennison, and Brian Tyree Henry. Their storyline wasn't developed enough. Like, I mean, Julian Dennison is an unknown actor, but Brian Tyree Henry and Millie Bobby Brown, like, they're like good actors, and she's a good actress, you know? So it's just like, I feel like they should have been more significant in the film. Like, we're following them on this journey, but it just seemed like it lacked significance. It wasn't impactful enough for me.
It was pointless to me. I don't know what they were trying to do. I don't even know if they accomplished what they were setting out to do.
The only thing that they did was Julian Dennison's character pour drink in this machine that kind of like short-circuited the robotic Godzilla. But he was still fighting, and that's even the other thing. Like that's how they like made them insignificant, because usually it's like a heroic story, right? You'll see someone like the little kid who's far away, who does something, hits a button, and then the robotic Godzilla dies. So he pours the drink on him. He doesn't even stop. Like, he was still fighting. So it's just like those characters had so much ability to be more than what the film made them out to be. So I would have appreciated it if y'all didn't do Millie Bobby Brown like that, because she's such a great actress and y'all just wasted her away. That was ugly.
I concur.
You concur?
I concur.
Godzilla! We hope y'all enjoyed this review. Godzilla vs. Kong, streaming right now on HBO Max. It's streaming all the way up until the end of April, so you have like the whole month of April to watch it. Make sure you get it in.
If you haven't already, go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out.
Have some wine handy.
Have your phone handy.
Have your phone in case you get bored, because that might happen. Or if you get lost, you don't know what's going on, have your phone and your wine, and you'll be fine.
We hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe for the good vibe.
Always a good vibe.
And we'll see y'all on the next one.